On December 2013, Proshare took the insight and views of investment experts, analysts, and researchers on what will be the top key issues for the economy in Nigeria in 2014. Today, we now have the top 10 things to watch out for in the economy driving for the year in Nigeria. One of those issues to be looked at is the Nigerian capital market, as it faces its ambitious plan to achieve a 2016 market cap of $1 trillion. Issues to be looked at would be the effect of the US Fed tapering on Nigerian bond markets, an uptick that may come if proposals to convert over 6 trillion unclaimed dividends is finally placed in a trust fund invested in the equities market. And also, as part of this strategy, the OTC market is able to ramp up services and address concerns of retail investors in such a way as to energize them and engage them in the market. To give further insight on this market outlook for 2014 is the head of Proshare Consult, Ms. Grace ADENIJI. It's great to have you.
Thank you very much.
And Happy New Year to you.
Oh, Happy New Year to you too.
I guess 2014 is showing more optimism in the capital market than 2013.
Yes, definitely.
Before we start, just give us an overview of the 2013 in terms of the analysis and the activities. Would you say it was very impactful compared to 2012?
Yeah, definitely. 2013 was a year that everyone in the market considered a great year for Nigeria, because it's like recovery has not just started, but it's here already. The market is recovering and it's at a stage whereby all eyes are on the Nigerian market, that where is it going? Market confidence has increased greatly, optimism has increased greatly. The NSE closed at a year-to-date of 47%, which is quite impressive. And it's something to look out for, that yes, this momentum will be sustained, and a great year to look out for in 2014.
Oh, that's very incisive for an emerging market like Nigeria, which is called the leading bourse in sub-Saharan African market.
Okay.
Now, let's look at the issues which I earlier highlighted. Share with us first. Now, there's this talk about the US eventual tapering and its effect on the bond market and the equities. Now, you heard that they've confirmed Professor Janet Yellen to be the next Fed Reserve Chairman. She'll be the first female chairman. I think that's a plus to women.
Yeah.
What would that, how would that impact from February 1st, 2013? What do you expect to see her leadership bring? Are we going to see tapering take effect immediately, or it will take due gradual process?
I believe it's going to take gradual process, because in December or sometime last year, it was reduced from the $85 billion that used to be issued out before, that used to be purchased. It was reduced to 75 billion. There's a gradual reduction of the amount that are issued. So it means that it's not going to be like a very huge, it's not something that would be drastic. Everybody already knows about the US tapering. It's in the ears of every investor, every capital market operator, that yes, US is stopping its tapering to see if truly the economy is growing, because it's witnessed sluggish growth. The US market witnessed sluggish growth in 2013. It's still about 2%, and they're still expecting that growth will increase, because institutional forecasters have already forecasted that the growth will be sustained. So I expect Yellen to continue with this trend, to make it a gradual reduction and not something that would affect and become an overblown effect on the global markets and in other emerging markets and frontier markets like Nigeria.
Yeah, I know she's a pro-job champion, and she also want to complement the efforts of President Obama to tackle the issue of unemployment and improve the jobs tax in the US.
Definitely.
Looking at Nigeria in terms of activity, would you say in terms of Nigerian stock exchange, the bond market operations, and even the equities, that we have positioned ourselves in a way that will not be impacted adversely by the tapering?
Yes, I believe we have done that. Although foreign participation reduced last year, 2013, by about 10% compared to 2012, it means that the effect is already taking place in the Nigerian market. But the impressive thing is that domestic investors are beginning to come in. Domestic investment participation, positive. Yeah, it increased by about 10%. It increased last year, which means that domestic investors are no longer like looking at what's happening. They want to be part of the growth that is happening in the market now. So I don't think it should be something drastic in the Nigerian market, because the market moves, there are swings when there's a shock, when there's a surprise. But now everybody's aware. US tapering is coming, everybody's aware. So analysts are already factoring that in. They're already discounting it. It's already discounting in the market already. So we shouldn't see
the hot money issue.
Yeah, we shouldn't see so much effect. And I believe central bank that has been doing very well, the monetary policy would still continue to remain tightened so that this effect will not overblow in the Nigerian market.
All right. So indeed, the impact will not be very adverse on the Nigerian market, considering the preparations, like you said, which is closing for the year 2013. It was positive. We'll come to that later. Now let's look at the OTC, the over-the-counter market operations, and it was a lot of activities in 2013. We saw the NASD OTC launched.
Yes.
We also saw the FMDQ OTC launched.
Yes.
Now let's look at 2014. How would you assess the scale of operations for the OTC market? Are we going to see much bigger scale and increased activities?
Yes, I expect increased activities in 2014. About 10 securities are now trading on the NASD OTC market, and I expect more to be done to bring in public limited companies that are not listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange to be part of this. I expect more involvement. Like I said earlier, the Nigerian market is at a stage whereby investors that went back, relied, and were like, let's see what's going to come out of the Nigerian market after the 2008 crisis. Let's see what's going to happen. Now they are optimistic. Confidence is renewed. And they're like, okay, yes, we can now play in this market. So I expect retail investors to participate more, and their participation would interest and cause more companies to become listed on the OTC market. And from there, we can see growth also in the Nigerian Stock Exchange.
And you're confident also that this will improve liquidity in the financial market in Nigeria?
Definitely, it will.
Okay, and in terms of 2013 to 2012, would you say the liquidity level by the OTC launch had really created the opportunity for more activity in the financial market? Would you affirm that?
Yes, it has created an avenue for more activity to take place, because we don't have to wait to be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange to trade on companies that are doing well, companies that are growing, companies that will see prospects in them. We don't have to wait anymore until they are listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange to trade in them, because now the avenue that has been opened through the OTC market is there, and there'll be increased participation, definitely.
That again is a very positive one, and I believe that retail investors will begin to come back and
yes.
Now the market closed at 40,000 points for 2013, and definitely should bring optimism for 2014. But the issue of unclaimed dividend issue and the challenges of that, what would you say in terms of regulations? What kind of regulations should we be expecting to ensure that the unclaimed dividends issue are properly sorted out, and then we're going to see retail investors come back? We just got the news of SEC moving for 50 stockbrokers and all that. What kind of regulations are we expecting?
Okay, for unclaimed dividends, there's actually supposed to be nothing like that we should be hearing of, because dividends should be paid and investors should get it. That's their returns, that's what they are waiting for. So there should be nothing like unclaimed dividends in the first instance. And now with regulatory bodies moving that they are going to make more efforts to ensure that dividends are paid, and there's a talk that the 12 years, after staying for 12 years without claiming your dividends, it goes back to the companies, should no longer be. Investors should be able to claim their dividends at any time. I think that's the reason why there's a bill coming up, the Unclaimed Dividend Trust Fund, to ensure that investors still take their dividends at any time.
That's the Investor Protection Fund.
Protection, yes, at any time. So I believe regulatory bodies are doing something positive to ensure that unclaimed dividends goes to like a very, very minimal level. As at now, it's about 45 billion naira, and it should go to a very minimal level where investors are sure that their dividends, when it's been declared, they get it. And also, there's something positive, which is the e-dividends. It makes it easy for investors to claim their dividends. It goes to their bank accounts, and they don't have to wait for it to be posted to their houses before they get, yeah.
But we have the generations that are not those those are
now, that's where the regulatory bodies need to make more awareness, enlighten investors on the need, the necessity for them to have these dividends. And that's why stockbrokers also need to come in. They need to play a very huge role in ensuring that they educate and enlighten their investors properly, and also create a means to assist the ones that are not really educated about.
Thank you very much, Grace. Finally, it's a pre-election year. Do you think that pre-election considerations may affect foreign and even some level of domestic participation in the market?
Well, Nigeria, like we know, it's a country whereby you see a lot happening during the pre-election year.
Yes.
Individuals, politicians, they want to show that yes, they can do this, they can do that. We see a lot of money coming into the system. But one thing the central bank, which I believe is positive, has made available was the increase in the CRR, which ensures that 50% of public sector funds is retained in banks, and it doesn't just come out into the system and increase money supply, which can distort the economy. So there are lots being in place, and I believe with this, even politicians should be wise enough to know that affecting the economy would also affect them also coming tops at election. So they would be quite reasonable. And now Nigerians are not waiting for, they're not looking for people that just want to spend and spend and spend. Nigerians are wising up. We want people that are intellectual. We want people that have something to offer to us, to everybody. Not just spending, spraying money, and then when you get there, there's nothing. So I think they should be wise enough not to do so much in making the economy distorted.
Thank you very much, Grace.
Yeah. Thank you.
And that was an incisive time with Grace ADENIJI from Proshare Consult. We looked at the issues of the US tapering and its impact on the Nigerian bond market equities. We also looked at the over-the-counter OTC market operations. It's launched in two phases last year, the NSD and FMDQ. And if we're going to see increased scale and it's going to drive activities in the market, which of course has been affirmed as positive. We also saw that the capital market in 2013 closed at 40,000 points, a positive and a sure hope of recovery. And we also need to understand that proper regulations will be able to tackle the issues of unclaimed dividends. And then in pre-election year 2014, where everyone keeps their ear on the ground to know what is happening, that despite the fears and concerns, we still have activities in the capital market. So it's been a wonderful time in this special edition to look into the economy, focus on the capital market outlook 2014. My name is Otoba Sekoseko, and join us next time for more incisive look into the economy. Thank you.